Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to beautiful but hot, but very hot Chiang Mai. So yeah, today I want to talk about the heat. And I want to talk about why this is important as far as when you decide to travel here to visit Chiang Mai. If you're coming here to stay long term, can this impact you as well, the heat? And to kind of give reference to it, right now it is 11:30 in the morning on a weekday. It is 35 degrees Celsius. I want to say about 98 degrees Fahrenheit. But it says it feels like 38 degrees Celsius or 102 degrees. So it's very hot. So why is this important? Well, the hot months are, according to the internet, is about March through May. And right now we're in the first week of May and it is very hot. April was brutal. April was a brutal month. And that's going to reflect on it did reflect on my electric bill. I'm going to do a cost of living update coming up real soon about the month of April. And the reason why I wanted to do the month of April, because everyone I talked to told me that April is going to be the hottest month here. And they were right. But I tell you what, I did not believe them. I'm saying to myself, I'm from Florida. You know, it's hot in Florida. But let me tell you, they were right about this. But while I'm going on about the heat, I know some of you probably watching from somewhere where it is still cold, you know, somewhere just as hot. So if you don't mind, down in the comments, you know, write about where you're from, what's the weather like, and how do you deal with it. And I'm going to talk about how I deal with the weather here in Chiang Mai. So let's get started. So right now I'm taking a walk. It's a trail, one of the trails that I use to take Michonne, my dog, on a walk. So I'm going to show you where I'm going. It is beautiful. There are some trees over it that's going to give me a little bit relief from the heat. All right, so it is very hot. So for you Gen Xers like myself, and even some of you who are a little older, you can relate to this. When I was a kid, I spent a lot of time outside. And what I mean by a lot of time, let's just say Saturday morning, we had a window in which we can watch our cartoons, and then it was outside for the rest of the day. Now, this outside also included that you didn't come in for water. You had a garden hose out there, and that's where you get your water. But make sure when you turn that faucet on, or as we say in the South, when you turn that spigot on, you make sure that hot water goes through first, because that hose is going to be hot and you don't want to burn your mouth. So anyway, I was used to being in the sun. I love the sun. When I was in high school, I ran cross country. I was used to running to the heat, but I think something changes as we get older. I still enjoy being outside, but now I'm very cautious of how and when I'm outside. So give you an example on why it's so important to be careful here. I read an article, I think it was in the Bangkok Post newspaper online, that between January 1st of this year and April 24th, 30 people died from heat-related causes. And that number 30 here in Thailand might not sound like a lot, but 30 deaths from heat-related, which normally a heat stroke. But how many of those are not being reported? How many are living out in rural areas where maybe it's just not being attributed to their death, and it could have been part of it? Now, I know within the last few days, I talked to one of the shop owners here, and I think we had 3 deaths that could be attributed to the heat. And here's the thing. A lot of the Thai people in my village, they still live in homes where they have tin roofs, they don't have AC, and you take on their age as far as being elderly, and they may already have some pre-existing conditions that the heat may trigger. So I realize how fortunate and how humbled I am to be able to come here and live in a home that I can afford to pay my electric bill and afford to have AC. But as far as how do I deal with the heat? So first and foremost, I do most of my errands early in the morning. For example, I walk Michonne at between 6:15 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. in the morning. And then she doesn't do an evening walk. We usually go for a car ride in the evening times. I just want to take a minute and show you this right here. But also, folks, I wear sunscreen. I wear a sunblock to help me out as well. As you saw when I first started, I wear a hat when it's hot out like this. And many of the Thais, what they do is they wear layers of clothing over their skin. You see them on motorbikes or sometimes working out in the rice fields where they have their hats on, they have their arms covered, and so they protect their skin. And, you know, I just talked about, you know, stuff like heat stroke that can happen. But what about, you know, skin cancer, those kind of things? So you have to be careful. So watch when I walk around this corner right here. This is another reason I took this route right here. When I walk here in the morning and it opens up and boom, there it is right there. It's just beautiful. All right, so I do my errands in the morning. I do use some kind of sunblock. I stay hydrated also. Now, I probably drink about 5 liters of water a day, if not more. I drink water all day long. And one of the reasons why is because I'm back in the gym now. Because it's smoky season, I used to walk around the lake Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a long walk on Saturday and kind of recover on Sunday. But now with it being smoky season, along with the heat, I go to the gym, and I'm going to do a video on that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I play pickleball on Tuesday and Fridays. I'm sorry, so I don't go to the gym on Friday, I go to the gym on the Saturday. But pickleball is Tuesday and Friday. And then it's the gym the other days, which I mostly do cardio and some things. So I have to stay hydrated. It's important to stay hydrated. And I notice also is that the Thais, they take advantage of the water here near the dam. So you will see them swimming in the canals to cool down. And so they find a way to stay cool. But if I were you, and I was thinking of coming over here, I would really consider would that be a problem for you dealing with the heat. A lot of people, they just know that during these 2 months mostly, you know, they stay inside, they get their things done early. But is this something that can deter you from coming over here? Now, people told me it was going to be hot, like I said. But what I did was I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be in the mountains. Because previously, we were going to go to Ecuador, and specifically Cuenca. But if you watch any of the news, you see what's happening in Ecuador. So before we even got that bad, I kind of sensed it just wasn't right for us. So we ended up here. But anyway, Ecuador, some 8,000 feet above sea level. So it's a very temperate climate. And it ended up that we love the climate, but we see where it was going as far as the government, the crime rising, things of that nature. And we decided on Thailand, which I've always loved Southeast Asia. I wanted to be here anyway, so this worked out for me. But like I was saying, I would really give this some serious consideration as far as the heat. Will you be able to take it? Do you want to deal with it? It's not going to go away. And what we'll probably do moving forward, my wife and I, we will probably end up going down south. I think I mentioned this in another video, to Hua Hin. The heat, they say it's about 2.7 degrees cooler because it's a different kind of climate. But you get the breeze on the beach, and so it gives you something else to work with. And I think later on, as we get older, one of the places we'll probably end up going is Dalat. Vietnam. If you've been to the lot, I would really like to hear about that. It's up in the mountains from my research, and it has a climate similar to what I was talking about in Cuenca, Ecuador. And that'll give us a chance to cool off a little bit. But as bad as the heat is, as much as I don't like the heat, not a big fan of it, it's not going to stop me from enjoying this beautiful country. This right here is all the rice fields. This is so beautiful here. But no, I'm going to stay. And let me tell you, there's no such thing as the perfect place. There's always going to be something. And you as an individual, if you're thinking about moving over here, if you're thinking about moving anywhere, you're going to end up having to take the good with the bad. People use that word perfect. I found the perfect place to retire. But what I do is I can do a whole episode or two on things I hate about living here. Well, actually I can't, because I don't use that word hate very lightly. But things I don't like about living here. But what I found is what you seek seeks you. And so if you're looking for the bad, you're going to find the bad. I look for the good. I look for the good and the privilege of being here. And that's what comes my way. And so, no, I have no problem with this heat, because I've learned to work around it. And you will too if you decide to come here. So I just want to do a quick kind of talk about the heat, what I'm doing to deal with it. But also, before I go, I will put my email address up there. I think it's somewhere on my site, but it's farawayfred2023@gmail. And if you have any questions, if you have anything you want me to cover, if I'm able to do it, I will. But also, I give you that email address because I'm getting ready to do an expat series where I'll be interviewing expats that's been here for a few months, that's been here for many years. And the reason why I want to do this is I really love that you're following my story. And man, this story is going to keep going. So I hope you keep following. But I think we can always take something from someone who's been here for a very long time. We can hear their stories. I'm always interested in the human experience. And so I'm looking forward to that. If you live here in Thailand and you would like to meet in person and tell your story, or you want to meet on Zoom, well, we can make that happen as well. But I would love to hear your story. And also, if you're living in Thailand, how are you dealing with this heat? So let me know. But once again, folks, I am about a little over 900 subscribers. And if you have not hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate that. Gets me closer to 1,000. I can do a lot more things with this channel. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your time, because our time is valuable. And the older we get, the more valuable we realize our time is. So thank you once again for joining me. I love you. Check out my other videos I'm going to put up here. And I will see you in the next one.